not attempt to adjust your programming. You are now listening to B-Movies and Beyond.
You can still pew pew.
Pew. Pew, 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 pew.
Your pews are way sexier than Peter's. He's so mad when I talk through this, but I do it every episode. Pew. Pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew. See, it tells me not to mess with it. And I'm a DJ.
Oh, you can tell.
Just by this movement right here, you can see it on the camera on YouTube's.
That's all it really takes.
Yeah. I guess I could press that button too. Whatever. Oh my gosh. Welcome back to B Movies and Beyond. I'm back in the kitchen, Grandma's kitchen. And this week, you got Ryan. Peter's on assignment. Yeah, it's still an assignment. 18 years.
Yep. Permanent.
Yeah, permanent 18 years. Man, I'm like an amateur. Like, usually I know to keep this microphone up, but I'm just going to keep on looking. I got a little foggy in my fake glasses over here. Well, today we are joined by a special guest who's been on the podcast many times. 2, 3 times?
Yeah, I think this is number 4.
This is number 14 for Brendo.
Yeah.
Welcome, Brendo.
Thanks, Ryan.
Welcome.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you here, and I got to give you one of these.
Oh. It feels so genuine, too.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Brenda, we are going. We're going to be talking about. Okay, you and I have been going to see Tuesday night movies at IMAX.
Yep.
And we got to make sure we go to IMAX because what you've taught me with the IMAX movie experience is you have to sit pretty close to the screen. While you compromise a little bit of like viewing space, you gain in the sheer sound.
I think it's very immersive. Right?
Yeah.
Just because the screen is so big that...
Pew.
No, but you're right. That I'm a big fan of the IMAX theater, especially here, our local one that Ryan and I like to frequent on Tuesday nights, on the half price day.
On the half price day. You don't pay full price for movies.
I mean, the IMAX theater is expensive.
And you know what else is expensive? Them not having beers on Tuesdays.
Yeah. What's the deal with that?
Dorks.
I know. Nerds. But yeah, it turns out that our local little IMAX theater here was upgraded to the laser projection camera, and they did some work on the screen, and then it also has the nice audio and nice seats and everything. So now, I guess when you look at IMAX theaters across the country, ours is an abnormally large screen and has the laser projection. So we have a really nice IMAX theater on top of that. So, I mean, why would you not see everything that goes on the IMAX screen?
It's the reason to go to the movies for me, at least. Because, you know...
It's better than being at home. Because I've got a nice TV at my house.
I got a nice
We watch a lot of movies, right?
We watch a lot of movies, and it's like we're professionals, and we do this weekly.
Yeah. Except that we reschedule like 2 out of every 3.
And that's fine. That's fine. That's totally fine. It's part of the gig. Is what it is.
And to make sure that we don't see any of the crappy ones.
Exactly. And you know, your other co-hosts, like Evan is on permanent hiatus right now. You know, he's taking a little sabbatical. I think he's going through a journey. I don't know what he's
just
doing.
got some burnout, man.
Sometimes you got podcast burnout.
Dude, I've had burnout on many fronts in my life.
I have burnt out on many of my friends.
Turn them and burn them, baby.
Why you calling me? I'm right.
Ryan loaded that up just for me. That's my favorite meme.
Dude, that's the moment you sent that to me. You know how like you get a real LOL from someone? I got a real LOL. Like, that was me. I saw the meme, Hannibal Buress. I was like, where's that from? And I was rolling on the floor laughing. And then when I saw it in, like, actual video, I was like, this is the best meme ever.
Yeah. And what's even better is once you know the context, he was right, and they were booing him when he was right.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, wrong one.
Well, hey, it still works.
Absolutely, yeah.
I got an absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, he was right. And I saw that in context while getting one of my Ninja Turtles on my arms. I was my tattoo artist was sitting there just watching the Eric Andre show.
Okay.
And the best part of that meme is not only do you and I have these certain memes that we share together, when an outsider uses them with you, it's even funnier.
It is. Because I think about Ryan would think this is really funny.
And typically you and I
Yeah.
is 11:30 to 12 o'clock at night.
Yes.
Here's the most random Reddit thing I've ever found. It's like, boop. And you're like,
I'm on page 30. I've just found this for you.
dude, check out Denver Circle Jerk right now. It's hilarious.
Yes. Yes. In fact, for any of our listeners, if you're here in the Denver metro area, much better than the Denver subreddit is the Denver Circle Jerk subreddit. Pure gold, pretty much all the time.
How instant are they?
Oh, I know. Sometimes, like the real post in the Denver subreddit and then the parody post are, I mean, minutes.
The best part is Jared Polis. Our freaking governor is in Denver Circle Jerk, so he's one of us.
He is. We know you're there.
Yeah.
We know you're there, Polis.
And I know he listens to this, so
He's a big fan.
Smash that like
Yeah.
and subscribe button, Polis.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get an endorsement, Jared. Whenever you get around to it. But yeah, it was kind of a shame that we missed all 2 days that Morbius was on the IMAX screen. Right?
Did I miss it?
I did not get to see it in the IMAX theater because I think they pulled it off of it. They're like, you know what we should replace it with? Sonic the Hedgehog.
Thing sucks.
I really wanted that to be better. I'm a
Did you
very
see it?
positive person. Yes, and
You saw Morbius?
I did. And I mean, Ryan, my tolerance is low. I can watch some weird shit. Okay, like made for Sci-Fi Channel.
Sharknado 74.
Foreign sci-fi Netflix films in Korean that are dubbed over. I mean, you name it, I'm there.
That's why you're an amazing guest on this show.
And Morbius was bad. That was a bad movie.
It was so bad in the middle of the movie. I was questioning why this movie was completed. Like, have you ever had one of those projects where you're like, nah, I'm just going to be done and just start all over and forget this happened?
I honestly, I don't want to like disparage anybody who was involved with making it because I'm sure it was a lot of work, right? But I got the impression that it had just been hacked to death, right?
Yeah.
Like it'd been delayed. It ended up in a different order in all the movies. They had to change some things to make the timelines make sense with Vulture, and that still didn't always make sense. There were things that I think they compromised on because it got punted around so many times. The package didn't come together.
Were you the one that broke down they were banking on having their Spider-Man with me? Or
no, I was not, but I agree with that sentiment.
like they were building this movie and they were setting it up to have Andrew Garfield in or Miles Morales or Tom Holland. They were setting up the movie to introduce like who the actual Spider-Man in Sony's Spider-Man universe was. And did you get any inclination Spider-Man was even part of this universe?
No, and in fact, they removed all the references. If you remember in the trailers, there was graffiti and stuff that referenced Spider-Man, and I don't need Andrew Garfield walking up punching people, right? Like, I'm fine with just a reference.
Right.
But they scrubbed it of all of that because I don't think they know what the hell they're doing yet. So, anyways, we should move on. We got off on a tangent here early.
And that's what I love about this one. And
it's okay.
It's okay. It's fine. It's okay. It is just absolutely okay. I'm gonna dub this one the MCU episode because you and I bounce MCU very well. Peter would love to join this one. He's probably, when he edits this, he's gonna kick and scream and yell at me and probably send me text messages.
We got a lot of different stuff other than Marvel here, but unfortunately, the timing of it is just a little bit prescient.
We finished Morbius. Breaking news today. Or yesterday or so, Thor finally released the trailer. So we
got a Thor trailer
to talk about that one. And then what else? We got
multiverse is right around the corner.
Oh my gosh,
Multiverse of Madness, and we're in the middle of MoonKnight.
So
we got a lot of more shit going on right now. It's not that we can talk about this more than other things, but hey, you know what? We got a lot of things to talk about.
But you know what?
Sorry, Peter.
Sorry, not sorry, dude. But you know what we got over here?
We got some other good shit coming though.
What? How? Why? I have so many questions!
All right. It's quick question time. And I'm going to let you ask us
Okay.
a quick question because we have talked about this in the past, but you being the guest, I'm going to let you kind of lead. And you have a very important question about something that's not Marvel related, but something that is on your mind and is something that we should address because other type of shows regarding this universe have been kind of flat.
Yeah. If you're referencing Star Wars, then yeah. So yeah, Ryan, I got a hot one for you.
All right.
Is it possible for Kenobi to live up to the hype?
Ooh, is it even possible? I like this.
I mean, I'm as hyped as anybody, right? I'm stoked. Bring it. Asking for more Ewan McGregor for ages. I'm ready. But do you get to a point? And in my frame of reference here is The Mandalorian. I went in with honestly pretty low expectations in The Mandalorian. In all honesty, when we went in. And that show's turned out to be fantastic.
Sure.
Because my expectations were rather low, right? It was like, hey, it's this random new character. We don't know where it fits in the universe yet. We don't know.
Space Mexican.
I mean, you said it.
I say it all the time.
Okay.
My hero.
Yeah.
Because I would love to be a space Mexican.
Gotta settle for being a Denver Mexican.
Sometimes you're in space in Denver.
That's true. That's true. You're about as high as it's reasonable to live here.
And it depends on what kind of high you're in.
Yeah, that's true.
It could be tomorrow.
Hey, whatever you're into. But yeah, so hit me. What, do you think it's possible? Are you going to end up where somebody's disappointed, or is it just going to smoke us?
Oh man, very very good question because you set it up. Mandalorian. I came in with no expectations, and they absolutely knocked the character, the secret characters, the storyline. They knocked everything out of the park and here's why, in my opinion. Here's this new character who's a Mandalorian, who follows a Mandalore, who wants to find other people like himself, stumbles upon Grogu, takes care of him, and ends up developing this relationship with him, and that's what we grew and loved about Din Djarin.
Mm-hmm.
But during this time, what's his name? Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
He's been able to bring out the Darksaber, bring out canon Star Wars storylines in this one story that didn't exist. However, Book of Boba Fett, high expectations, the highest expectations out of anything and anybody. I literally thought this was going to be the best series. And for 4 episodes straight, I had to chew through this. And I had a hard time.
Yeah.
And the reason I had a hard time is it wasn't the Boba Fett I envisioned in my mind.
Yeah, dude, he didn't get off Tatooine.
Yeah. And he's like kind of fat and sluggish and slow and has this whole change of heart kind of thing. Boba Fett was a bounty hunter. Boba Fett was he's a mercenary. He's ready to kill whoever. Not this one. We didn't get that. Not only until Din Djarin came back in what I like to call the Mandalorian season 3 episode 1.
Those 2 episodes where we just got Din Djarin the whole time.
Yeah. That saved that entire series right there.
Yeah.
It really did because you got Grogu and you got one of the best CGI episodes of television I've ever seen in my entire
all
life.
time. In terms of the de-aging stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so good. And I mean, they're getting their money's worth for hiring that hater off of YouTube. Remember after the episode in Mandalorian when that dude redid it better? I forget what his name was, but they went and hired him. And then, I mean, I'm telling you what, they've come a long way.
100%.
To the point where it's scary. They talk about it in the making of episodes where they're like, hey, by the way, this technology is now here.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like, didn't he go back and redo the scene with Princess Leia in Rogue One?
Yep.
And it looked better?
Better.
And same thing with Luke Skywalker in this last one. And it's incredible. This is going to keep Star Wars folklore forever, and we're going to be able to have Mark Hamill record lines right now for stories that we don't know exist, and they're just going to use them in the future, and we're going to be blown away.
Now, devil's advocate, and we're going to get ahead of ourselves here because we have the Kenobi trailer also.
Right.
But staying inside the vein of my quick question, which is now becoming a medium question. But
I like that you bring me on track.
You know, that's what I'm here for. I got to keep it together for Peter.
Peter, you're gonna love this guy.
Why y'all boo me? I'm right.
to answer your question, I don't think this is gonna live up to the hype because I think Obi-Wan, in my opinion, Obi-Wan he's the start of Star Wars. Like the first character you see in A New Hope is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And you think you're going to follow his story, and they kill him off.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Yeah. If you haven't seen a movie made in the 70s.
But they bring him back with Ewan McGregor, who's fantastic. He's the only saving grace of the prequels, in my opinion.
He was one of them, yeah.
And they're going to bring him back for his own series. And listen, you just asked me earlier, like if I've watched Clone Wars or Rebels, there's characters in those shows that are shown in Obi-Wan where I'm like, who is this guy? And it's my fault for not following this. But I think like 90% of the people who haven't watched the animated Star Wars stuff will not get this. Just like Bade Kane.
Mm-hmm. Cad Bane, you mean?
Cad Bane,
Yep.
Thank you. Why did I forget that one?
Sorry.
Nobody knew who he was, but he was in a lot of he was in the Clone Wars.
Very prevalent in both,
in both of them, right?
Both Clone Wars and Rebels. And yeah, I think that, and that's kind of my concern in a way, right? Is I do also think it's going to be difficult for it to live up to the hype for everyone. I think I'm going to enjoy it because it's easy for me to do, but what I think might be a little heavy-handed, and I'm worried it might be heavy-handed, is the fan service, right? Where did I enjoy seeing an episode of Luke Skywalker training Grogu? You know what? Yes, I did.
And Ahsoka.
But can we get some new shit? Like, I mean, come on. We've got a universe full of stories that we can tell and a timeline that goes from the Old Republic all the way up to now. Thank you. Shower me with your praise. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we have all these new characters we can go explore. And I think that Dave Filoni hopefully will dip into the Filoni-verse a little bit, right? Clone Wars and Rebels.
I love that term, Filoni-verse.
The Filoni-verse.
That just sounds like a weird nerd sex.
Him and Jon Favreau.
Like they learned that in Star Wars sex class.
Right? But
you follow the Filonian tubes.
Philippians. Yep. Okay. That
universe.
What was I saying?
Filoni-verse.
Oh, the Filoni-verse. No, but and then I mean, really now you've got all kinds of other Disney Star Wars canon, like Force Awakens that kind of happens during that time period. There's a whole bunch of things going on. So I just feel like there's opportunity for fresh faces and fresh characters. We've got Ewan McGregor, we've got Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're gonna have a young Luke. Clearly, they already showed him in the trailer.
Right.
I don't know if I need anybody else.
Do you need Darth Vader to come back as Hayden Christensen?
Well, we
or
know that's
vice versa.
Well, we know that's happening. What I'm most curious about is how are they going to handle Hayden acting, like actually showing some of his acting capability, which I believe he has. Right? I just don't think I think he's had some sore chances to expose it. But what's it going to be, the Tony Stark view inside the helmet, or what are they? How are we going to see Hayden Christensen? Because I'm ready for it, but I don't need to be gimmicky.
I like that.
So
let's
move on.
And what we got now is
Here are some exciting coming attractions from
B-movies and beyond.
movie trailers.
Yes.
As you didn't tell by that guy's dead. I think.
Really?
The movie trailer guy. I think he's been dead for a while. I don't know if they have a movie trailer guy anymore, do they?
There's got to be.
There should be a school where they teach
The
you to
guy.
have the movie trailer guy voice.
And no.
And now our feature presentation. Obi-Wan trailer. What are your thoughts?
It was a teaser. I'm
Oh
teased.
yeah.
I'm teased.
Didn't tell too much.
Yeah, just enough.
We learned from Ewan McGregor that the first 2 episodes are going to be week 1.
Yes.
I like how
But
they do
not
that.
on May the... Well, yeah, I guess.
Why? How did they miss May
I
the
really
4th?
wanted to be May the 4th, right? What? I get it, but I don't get it. Like, that would have just been too much of a slam dunk, maybe. It would have broken the internet.
I really hope Disney's like, oh yeah, sorry, we forgot.
Weird.
Duh.
But yeah, like it was a teaser trailer. I'm teased. I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
Me too. I hope when this show comes out, I'm sending you a message saying this was the best first 2 episodes of a Star Wars series I've ever seen.
Yes.
I really, and that's my downfall right now is I have really high expectations. But however, I'm the weird Star Wars fan. I like the dark side.
Okay.
I don't follow the Jedis. I don't care about that whole religion, the lore, or anything. I like my Mandalorians. I like my Empire. I like my dark side. So,
dude, you'd totally be on board then. I want them to. They're apparently remaking Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes.
Which I think still one of the best games of all time. Best video games, period.
How do they bring out Darth
KOTOR 1 and 2. And
Darth
then we've got
Revan?
Darth Revan?
Yeah.
How do they bring him out? Spoiler alert, right? Basically, you in the game wake up having had you've lost your memory, right? And they're talking about, oh, hey, you're this Jedi, but you lost your memory anyways. Come help us, right? And you go do all these missions. And then, like, honestly, I think one of the biggest, like, reveals, spoilers in video game history is that you are Darth Revan. And the Jedi erased your memory to try and, like, convert you back to the light side. And you discover your Revan and get to choose whether you continue on the light path or whether you stomp everybody out.
That's why that game was one of the best.
I think it was.
How does
hands
Disney
down.
bring him out?
Dude, Darth Revan would be such an amazing character. And again, when you go that far back in the timeline,
You could do whatever you
you
want.
can do whatever you want.
Whatever you want at that point.
So
We're
ready. We're ready, Disney.
It's in my loins.
That's one way to put it.
Speaking of Disney, I'm going to move on to what we alluded to earlier. We have a Thor trailer, Thor, Love and Thunder. As Taika Waititi said, this was a love story. And it's
Okay.
in the name. So who does Thor fall in love with? Himself? That's what the trailer alludes me to.
I do think that Thor could have used a little self-love after the Infinity Saga.
He
right?
got fat, played some Xbox.
I mean, that dude got he got torn up
Yeah.
in that experience, right? So Thor trying to figure out who is Thor in this new world.
It's like a teenager going through his teenage
Dude, I mean, that's what the trailer kind of showed us, right? It was like him in the hippie clothes sitting under the tree. Like, that's I like they're playing into that like discover yourself trope. But what I think is that everything they showed us in this teaser is in like the first 10 minutes of the movie.
I hope so. And, well, we didn't see any bad guys.
Yeah.
Batman's in it. Christian Bale's in it.
Gore the God Butcher, bro.
Right.
Shit's coming.
They're saying
Gods better watch out.
who's the other guy? Beta Billy Ray.
Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill, yeah.
Is Beta Ray Bill in this? Do we know?
There's rumor that he is.
Oh, I'd take that.
But-
Beta Ray Bill's a good character too.
Marvel fans want him.
Yeah.
They want him. No inclination of him in this trailer whatsoever.
But we did see Zeus.
Was he in the trailer?
I think it was either Zeus or Hercules. I'm gonna say Zeus, I think, when he grabs the lightning bolt. And again, we gotta remember, Christian Bale confirmed, villain, Gore the God Butcher. Zeus gonna die.
Zeus is played by...
That dude's getting smoked.
You know who he's played by?
No, I don't.
Russell Crowe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Russell Crowe is going to be Zeus.
I'm telling you. Like, we saw that whole pantheon of Greek gods or whatever in that teaser.
Mm-hmm.
Those motherfuckers are dead. Gore's gonna like they're teasing us with that, I think. I think there's a significant amount of those folks that ain't making it.
I like that. I like that. This is what we're going to get out of this movie because a lot of people think it's going to be kind of like Thor, as I like to call it, Fraggle Rock, because I can't say Ragnarok. Except for I said it just fine.
It's a good reference.
And Thor Fraggle Rock was a little bit more funny.
Yeah.
And it was like an arena type of movie. Basically, it was Disney's way of making the Hulk with bypassing the rights to the Hulk.
Yeah. It was like, how do you do a Planet Hulk movie without doing a Planet Hulk movie?
Right, and that was Fraggle Rock.
Yep.
And this one, I think, is going to be a true sequel to Thor 2, The
I
Dark
think
World.
the tonality will be the same because it's Taika Waititi, and apparently Chris Hemsworth had a lot of influence in the new Thor. It's
And
what
he's
got
funny.
him kind of re-engaged with the character.
And you got some Guardians.
I'm about it.
I'm about it. I love it.
So awesome. Okay.
To move on to the next one is we are getting more... let's get ready. It's here. It's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This is quick. We've had 2 real trailers.
Yes.
And these are just like TV spots and whatnot, but we're seeing more footage. Movie's looking dark, and they're really showing that Scarlet Witch is going to be not just like a sub character. She's going to be a main character.
I think she's the baddie.
I think she is too. Versus that weird squid octopus looking thing.
Yeah, I think that's all just. I think those are all things leaking out of the. Did you watch What If?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Captain Carter went through the portal and there's like the tentacles coming out? I think it's all. I think there's all these same kind of monsters that live in between universes that are starting to get unleashed from various. Too many people poking holes in it, right?
My favorite is that we saw Marvel Zombies in What If, but we also saw some in the Doctor Strange trailer.
So we saw a version of Strange, right? That looks zombified. And then did we get a zombie Wanda? I'm still torn on whether is it just Wanda covered in blood or is that a zombie Wanda that we got? I didn't go back and frame by frame it.
My expectations are low, and I think it's going to be that she's just covered in blood.
Okay.
I hope there's blood in this movie. This seems like a Marvel movie that needs a little bit more edge.
It also seems like this is kind of a door to the next phase of the MCU, right? Of just that the breadth of stories they want to go tell now. We need a way to be able to break them all up. We can't have everybody be tied to the same timeline and everything has to make sense all together anymore. They kind of need all these branches like they have in the comics of all these different universes and all these different worlds. I think this movie's going to expose everybody to that. I think they're ready for it. But what I hope they don't do is try and just cram it with too much. Right? Give us the avenue for all of these universes. I don't need to see all of them in this movie, right? And so the one I'm thinking of is Marvel Zombies. Mm-hmm. Give me a hint, right? Show me Zombie Strange, show me one other thing, and then snap the door shut, and we can have a whole other Marvel Zombies movie. I don't need too much of that here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks, Arnold.
I agree with you. I think I'm just ready for the movie. At this point, stop showing me trailers.
Yeah.
Just like Sonic. Sonic gave me way too many trailers. We got... I want to go into this one. This is Kids in the Hall. This is
yes.
TV series off Amazon Prime. And listen, I didn't really watch Kids in the Hall when I was younger because the humor was just above my head. But as an adult, it's one of the funniest shows. It spawned The Whitest Kids You Know. It spawned all these, Mr. Show with Bob Odenkirk and David Cross and just all these like pre-recorded comedy sketch shows that are just raunchy.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's almost like even at the time, right? It felt like a slightly fresher kind of Monty Python influenced sketch comedy.
Monty Python for sure.
And like especially some of the Monty Python, like maybe not like Holy Grail, like the full movies, but like Monty Python sketch comedy, right? If you ever watched any like the show,
right,
where there's just like the Ministry of Silly Walks and like just weird shit like that, right? That they're, I feel like that's the Kids in the Hall, like the tonality that I got from this, but the post-COVID take, like the woke take.
Have you watched The Bubble?
No.
Very post-COVID movie.
Okay, I got targeted by it on Netflix.
Super funny.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, Peter reviewed it last week.
Oh, nice.
Based off his review, I watched it, and I enjoyed it. It was a great movie to watch.
Awesome. I think it has good talent in it, if I remember.
Great talent, dude. It has the space Mexican, Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
It has...
that dude's in everything now.
I know. He's just like time traveling in his sweet Nebula
like Nicolas
cruiser.
Cage, get paid, bro.
Dude, do you want to go see that movie?
Hell yeah.
Me too. And he's in that one too.
I know.
Good for you, Din Djarin. Is he Din Djarin?
No, so now you fucked me up. It's Din Djarin.
Not Darjum?
No.
Those are clove cigarettes, right?
I don't know. But now I'm gonna have to Google it.
Din Djarin.
Din Djarin.
I think Dave Fallopian Tube seriously smokes cigarettes.
Yeah, well, and they got to make it easy to remember.
Right. Okay, Grogu. How many kids out there do you think look at that Baby Yoda and they're like, "What's his name?" And they're like, "Baby Yoda." Like, no, it's Grogu. Anyway, to be honest with you, these other two trailers I didn't really pay too much attention to.
I watched them, so we also had Escape the Field on the list here. What I would say is that both of these movies felt like gimmicky to me, or like form factor movies, right? They were like paint by numbers.
Escape the Field and Black Site, Paint by Numbers.
Yeah.
Solid take.
Am
I going to go watch them?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of movies.
They put them on the IMAX theater. Ryan and I are there on Half Price Tuesdays.
Half Price Tuesdays,
Yeah.
like trying to get the usher over there to buy me a beer, and then still trying to get me trying to get him to purchase 2 beers, but knowingly I can't do it. What a stupid thing.
He acts like he's doing you a favor, pouring you a $12 Coors Light.
Yeah, and not one for my buddy.
Fine.
Dude, he'll be here in like 10 minutes. And you walk through the door, hey, and I'm like, here he is. Can I now run my
He'd already
card
turned
again?
all the lights off and turned the taps back off again.
Last but not least, we covered this last week as well, but I wanted to get your take on this one. Stranger Things. It has a really rocking song, just like Thor,
Does.
Love and Thunder.
Oh, you're right. Lots of like 80s ballads.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the theme of post-COVID movies. 80s
Are they just pandering to our generation now? I felt like they have been for a while, but now
the Batman.
Yeah, well,
Nirvana.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
And they made his theme song around that song, dude.
Yeah.
Like when I hear that Batman, I'm like, that's just Nirvana.
It's like just because it's a stereotype doesn't mean it's wrong. And when we were
Why you pouring me? I'm right.
That's a good usage. That was appropriate. But you know what I'm saying? Like, just play me some 80s ballads and I might enjoy the trailer slightly more than if you played some modern garbage music.
Do you like how some of them modernize the songs?
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like
make
this,
it a little like
Stranger Things is like, oh yeah, this is
we got the random like guitar solo ballad in the trailer.
I was like, is this
actually going to be in the show? I'm so confused by that. But
what was your hot take, by the way?
So my hot take is, and let's just quick spoiler alert if somebody doesn't watch Stranger Things, is in the very beginning of the show, right? There was a lot of focus on that this was a Dungeons and Dragons group, right?
Oh my God. Are you going there?
No, I'm not. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. But that then these monsters, right? So the Demogorgon, and then and I'm drawing a blank on the most recent villain, right? And then now this, which what is his name? I'm drawing a blank. This too. Vecna under pressure, right? So all three Lovecraftian like monsters and villains, right, from H.P. Lovecraft that were heavily influential and present in the Dungeons and Dragons lore and play. Like, so is it a coincidence that these kids were playing Dungeons and Dragons and then now they're fighting all these very specific Dungeons and Dragons monsters in the Upside Down? Or did they cause it? Okay.
Dude, you might have just nailed this entire series.
Like that we're going to find out that, one of these kids or 11 or one of them, right, manifested this whole thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's my hot take. We'll wait.
Wow, dude.
We're going to wait for that one to come back around, like when I said Han was alive in Fast and the Furious. And I was right.
Dude, you might be the prophecy for all media.
I've got an inside line at Universal Studios.
Do you really?
And Netflix and Disney.
Okay, so can you help me come up with my awesome movie creations?
Sure.
That I always say on this podcast. And Peter's like, yeah, that would actually be kind of a cool movie. Listen to our past episodes. I have a lot of good ideas. I always forget them. So you always have to go back and listen to me ramble on about making an awesome movie. My favorite one was the Face Off 2, where it was Travolta and Nicolas Cage, and they did face off again. However, they had to outlive their current careers as actors.
Yeah, well, so that was in Nicolas Cage's Reddit Ask Me Anything. Did you see that?
I heard that was a fantastic Ask Me Anything.
Excellent. One of the best ones in recent memory, right? But one of the top questions that had gotten voted up to the top was, Mr. Travolta, how weird has it been wearing Nicolas Cage's face for all these years?
Oh my God.
And he answered it pretty much in character. It was hilarious.
Oh, dude, Nicolas Cage is the best thespian ever.
Yeah.
He doesn't go by actor.
Thespian.
He's a thespian.
Okay.
And it makes sense, right?
Okay.
All right, Brendo. Let's see. We got. Oh, I don't have the crinkly paper. News. I want to run through news quickly because what I really want to do is talk more about the MCU and where they're going. So
let's roll through this.
All right, MoonKnight drops major tease that he's been fighting longer than any other MCU characters.
Let's punt that. Let's talk Moon Knight at the end.
Okay, deal. Disney Plus loses Agent Carter, X-Men, and more fan favorite episodes. Do you know why?
Was this the censorship thing?
Right.
Okay, so did they pull more episodes to edit them? Is what they're doing?
That's what they're doing.
Lame.
I don't want Disney to do that.
I think that what we couldn't police not having 8-year-olds in there, like.
Right.
I
mean, how are we going to get these different Marvel universes? How are we going to get the Deadpool, the Marvel Knights? How are we going to get these more adult characters that we really want? Because DC did an okay job with them.
Mm-hmm.
I said okay, not the best, but I know if Disney and Marvel allowed it and pushed it, we would get really good adult rated R action and content with Punisher, Moon Knight, Wolverine, the X-Men.
They're just characters that call for it, right?
Yeah.
And I think Deadpool was the one that, and I'm glad Ryan Reynolds like dug his heels in on that, right? Of like, no, Deadpool is an R-rated film, period, right? And so I kind of agree that it's something we're going to have to solve for, or Disney's going to have to solve for, on, just you're going to run out of runway on stories you can tell to a point, right? Of just they've spent billions and billions and billions of dollars buying up all this intellectual property for the Star Wars universe, for Marvel, for they're building this portfolio, and to just go, oh hey, you know what? We can't say the F word too many times. Like, it just, why? Right? Especially when you have this bench of characters that deserve it, especially in the Marvel universe. It's just, I think to me, it's tough. It's tough that they would decide not to find some solution for it.
We watched Batman, and within the first 20 minutes, there were F-bombs in it.
Yes.
And it was totally normal. It wasn't shocking, It wasn't one of those,
I'm not asking for Wolf on Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
Like, just make it seem real.
Just put it in the storyline.
Yeah.
And if you incorporate in the storyline perfectly fine, nobody will notice.
Yep.
It'll go, but if you go out of your way to take it out or censor it or make these articles that it's a big deal, then that's when it becomes a big deal and it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Disney owned Miramax. They owned Buena Vista. They own these adult, mature companies, so they
Making
can
it sound like they have a porn studio.
I know, right?
We're talking about just not doing kids movies, guys, not adult films, which Ryan is also an enthusiast, but
yeah. I mean, if Disney comes out with Disney and they turn the plus to an X and add 2 more, then Disney XXX might work. That'd be fine.
I'll pay the extra.
Oh, could you imagine paying for that service?
Oh man,
they'd be like, yeah, normally it's $11.99, but for this one, it's going to be...
It's only $80 a month. And you get free bath water.
Oh, my God. From Princess Jasmine.
It's like cam girls at the top and Disney gear.
And then also...
Very nice.
Very nice.
This is my other favorite one, but we haven't brought it... Oh, yeah. We'll save that one.
We'll save it.
Moon Knight has been... Okay, here's one last one. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon reunite to talk about a Nike shoe deal with Michael Jordan. So it's going to be a documentary about how Nike got their deal with Jordan.
It's apparently a pretty cool story.
It is a cool story. It's also cool that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are doing a movie together. Again.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Now, what use do they have for 2 white dudes in that movie?
Larry Bird.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm just joking.
It's like
probably some executives or something.
Like, yeah, Matt Damon. That seems like a reasonable Larry Bird.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. This is what I want to talk about because we're 4 episodes deep right now. Today is 4th episode.
Today is 4.
Have you watched it?
Well, tonight, Wednesday.
Okay.
So 1 a.m. tonight.
Wednesday, April 14th. April 19th.
April 20th, bro. It's 19th today.
Oh, so MoonKnight comes out on Thursdays?
MoonKnight comes out on Wednesdays. Today is Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. That's real shit, everybody. Right.
What shows Thursdays?
This is Ryan's life. Days don't matter.
Days don't matter. I sleep till 6 in the morning. Sometimes I sleep till like 10 in the morning. I don't know. And it's not weekend specific.
It's weird how your circadian rhythm's fucked up.
I'm so messed up.
Actually, I don't know if it is or not.
No, totally. Like everybody around me is like, when are you recording an episode? I'm like, well, tonight. And they're like, oh, it's on Wednesday. That's why I messed up. I think it's Wednesday right now.
Because we're here.
Because we're here.
It's a day early, everybody.
Episode 4 comes out next week.
Tomorrow.
Fuck it.
Why don't I take over the lead on this? Why don't you let me run with this?
Absolutely, yeah.
Why am I drunk?
Yeah, it's only two Coors banquets in.
No,
yeah. So we're 3 episodes into MoonKnight.
Okay.
Right. I personally am enjoying it quite a lot. I think we have a lot we could talk about, and I would like to hear what you think is going to happen in the balance of this season. Where are we going to end with MoonKnight? Where's MoonKnight going to be in the MCU when we finish this series? Because you know he's going to beat Amit.
He's part of the Marvel Knights, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he is. I think him, Punisher, Wolverine, and Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
And you might want to check me on that.
I thought it was Midnight Suns, which I know Oscar Isaac made a reference to recently.
Correct. Black Panther, Punisher, Daredevil, Inhumans is Marvel Knights. So, no. Change begin with Daredevil, Black Panther, Moon Knight, Wolverine, Spider-Man. So this is where I think they're going to go with this, and I really hope that our previous conversation is right. I think this is going to be the more these are the characters focused more towards us. Mid-30s, early 40s have followed Marvel their entire life kind of thing. They're going to give us these characters, and I think they're going to flood some X-Men that way.
Okay.
So they're going to kind of do the Avengers more towards the family-friendly.
Yep.
And the superhero, and then we're going to get some X-Men. And I think the X-Men are going to be a little bit more brash and brutal.
Okay.
And I think
back to what we were talking about on the rated R piece, right? I mean, honestly, Wolverine, dude's got 3 long metal indestructible claws that come out of his hands.
And it took
that dude stabs people with those. That's how he's superheroes. He stabs motherfuckers with those, right? Like, that's how that works. So anybody who thinks that Wolverine's this big cuddly superhero, that is not the case. He's not like putting you to sleep. He's stabbing you.
It took like 6 movies from Fox to finally realize, hey, we need to cut off arms with his claws.
Like that. That's what Wolverine does.
That's what he does. The Cyclops literally opens up a flap on his laser beam eyes and annihilates people.
Yeah, like melts you.
Yeah, the X-Men are not friendly.
Yeah, it's not Captain America who's trying to like put you in a chokehold and take you to jail, right?
Wolverine
will kill you, and so. But I think you're right, and I think hopefully I'm hoping, my fingers crossed, everybody, is that where this is going is we're going to kind of split, like you were saying, of the MCU is going to kind of have this. There's this whole cosmic piece of it, right? That we've got with Thor Ragnarok and the Celestials with Eternals and all. There's this celestial piece of the MCU, right? That's a little more focused up there. And then you've got this kind of street level justice, right? That's happening. That's kind of the Defenders and stuff is where that fit in before.
Daredevil.
But there was the Midnight Suns, which was Blade and Moon Knight and I want to say Punisher and who the fuck else?
Who's the guy that Game of Thrones guy?
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
And
is that his name?
Oh, I don't know. Werewolf by Night is the character I know.
Who's that dude? He was in Eternals. And they showed Black Knight. Was he Black Knight?
Oh, the Black Knight.
Yeah.
The Black Knight is in there. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. So we saw that in Eternals.
Yep.
And Blade
with the Ebony Blade.
Right. So,
and if I remember correctly, the Ebony Blade has a similar, like source. Like it came from the similar place as Gore's, the Null blade that Gore the God Butcher has.
See, intertwining those worlds. Multiverse. Multiverse is going to be kid friendly. You get all those spin-offs of stories, and then we can get all the.
But we're better to do like Marvel, like creepy horror shit than
My gosh,
a
dude.
Midnight Sun series where you have Blade and Moon Knight like fighting. I mean, what if Dracula was the big bad in a Midnight Suns
Nick
series?
Cage.
Yeah.
Cool. Nick Cage is Dracula.
Actually, that would be kind of cool.
Oh, dude, there was a big actor that was joining the MCU just recently. Oh, Andrew Lincoln
Oh, I didn't hear that.
from Walking Dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Rick Grimes.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna be in the MCU. They haven't
Interesting.
said
They
who he
don't
is
know
yet.
who yet.
I hope he's who's Blade's dude, the white guy, who's Chris Ofterson.
I know who you're talking about.
Oh, what's his name? He's a good one. But
But they could take on these kind of like mystical threats or like, you know what I'm saying? These, I'm drawing a blank on the word for it.
Whistler.
Dark arts.
Dark arts, the dark side of Marvel, because
Yeah.
for a long time Marvel was the comic series that went dark. They had to. DC was already there.
Yeah, they were like, DC was kind of more grim.
Right.
Versus like
Marvel
dirty,
went-
grim, street level justice.
And Marvel's been controversial its entire run. Like the X-Men were all about like gender identity and living through the 60s and like oppression and race, and the X-Men encompassed that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 90s, like they had characters ripping arms off and killing them and just straight up annihilating families. The comic book series in the 90s, well, what happened was Image came out.
Mm-hmm.
And Image was like, yeah, we're going to do whatever we want. So Marvel and DC were like, oh, fuck, we got to do something too. And who adapted that? DC for a while,
Mm-hmm.
until Joel Schumacher messed up Batman. And then Marvel came out with Batman, or Blade.
Mm-hmm.
And Blade was bloody, gory, and awesome.
Yep.
So we got to go back to it. And just
There's
can you
a-
watch Blade on Disney Plus?
Ooh, I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't know if you can. I'm gonna look that up.
I haven't seen anything about it, but that'd be cool.
It has to be. So Moon Knight. So do you? To answer your question, I think he's gonna be one of those characters that pops in all these other movies and series. I
Okay.
think the series. I think it's gonna have its run. I think Disney is gonna realize where they could put him, and they'll put him in a Punisher series.
Mm-hmm.
They'll put him in like Spider-Man's animated series. You know, they'll
Yep.
put him in a multiverse movie. But he'll
Do
be
you think
able to
that he's
bounce
going to
around.
get? You think he'll get recruited by, call it the larger MCU, at the end of this show, or do they think they'll end this show self-contained and then he's going to be recruited in the team up? So, because what I'm thinking of is like Iron Fist shows up in the middle of Luke Cage's. Right, they do a little bit of Heroes for Hire for 2 episodes, and then he leaves again. Versus, like when at the post-credit scene, right? Nick Fury shows up and recruits Tony Stark, and shows up and recruits the Hulk,
Oh, that's a good.
right? And you're like, okay, we know we're setting up for something bigger here. Versus him just cameoing in another show.
They have to.
Yeah.
Like, but the question is who and where. Because if you look at Miss Marvel,
Yep.
that's going to be directly off Multiverse of Madness. You could see her in Multiverse of Madness, but Moon Knight, where would he go? I wonder if they would set up a Blade movie.
Dude, because again, when you think of post-credit scene for Eternals,
Yeah,
was you got Mahershala Ali's like voice asking the Black Knight, "You ready for this?" Right?
yeah.
I could. That's 100% where my head was at. Also, was do we get a Blade cameo in the last episode, where everything is just a complete dumpster fire in this last episode, which inevitably it will be. Right? Moon Knight ties up the loose ends and is starting to put his house back in order, and he comes home to his apartment and Blade's standing there next to his fish tank.
The fish tank. You're right, though.
Like I would be hyped for that.
All right, that gives me an awesome reason to watch this more. I'm still watching it, but
Well, yeah.
I mean, like, I want to finish it. I'm curious now. I am ready for some more Moon Knight, but you know what I want to do?
What's that?
We're going to do this a little differently
Okay.
this time. So what we got coming up over here is... Oh, shoot. I got to do this. You know what this is? Some sweet music. How do you support the show?
How do I support the show?
Yeah.
I text back late at night.
And yeah, if you just text me late at night,
Yeah.
and tell me that you want to be on the show, then hell yeah.
Yeah.
But the other ways you could do it is like us on YouTube, like us on our podcast, follow us, do all that good stuff. B Movies Beyond, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, the website. Follow us there. You can go back and listen to past episodes, buy merchandise. I always wear my sweet merchandise when I do the podcast. I like my 5-panel hat. A lot of people love it too. And usually I let this ride out, but I'm going to get right back into our new one. That was a quick sponsor review. And then now we got... What does this remind you of?
I gotta say, like Hawaii 5-0 or something.
I always get Tarantino vibes.
Okay, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good reference, like a Reservoir Dogs kind of thing.
Yeah, or that Gnarls Barkley. Not Gnarls Barkley. Danger Doom. I'll show you the song later.
Yeah.
All right. Reviews. What we're doing this time is, since me and Brenden saw the same movie, we are going to review Sonic 2.
Yeah.
We're going to get both perspectives of it. And then you have a couple on there for your reviews, but I'm going to move those to recommendations.
Let's do it.
Deal. So let me give you a little background. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan.
Well, I mean, I knew that, but that's only because I'm your friend.
And the reason is I had a Sega Genesis and not a Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
So I always
Okay.
played Sonic.
You're one of those kids.
I was, yeah, dude, and I had all the Segas. I had Master System, Genesis, I had Dreamcast. Like, I had an N64, but I never had the other two. So I was really excited for Sonic 1. Did you watch that one?
I did.
When? Before?
Oh, after. No, I saw the second one first.
I like it. Okay, let me get your thought on this one then, because everybody knows how I feel about Sonic 1. I think it should have won an Oscar.
I would not have gone that far.
Oh, come on, 2020 was like a shit show.
You know what? You're right. That's what we got to look in context. It's like when you're looking for food in the airport and you're like, man, this place has 3 stars on Yelp, but that's as good as it gets in the airport. This is fine dining here at the Applebee's. But yeah, no, I what I would say is these were excellent, entertaining movies, right? I categorize them in my mind with like Shrek, where it's like,
And that was a great movie.
you know, kind of a there's enough action and everything to be exciting as an adult sitting in this movie, right? Like, it didn't change my life, but like, it's a kids movie, right? And there were adult jokes in there, right? That you were like, oh, okay. Thank you for pandering to me, or at least acknowledging that I'm in this theater with all the children, right? And
So I don't feel awkward.
yeah, like
The guy next to us.
all the kids laugh at like the fart jokes, and then they make a sex joke, and you're like, in the theater.
Why you calling me? I'm right.
But entertaining. Really no downsides. I thought the special effects were done well. The CGI was done well. And especially after having seen the internet shitstorm from Sonic 1 and having seen the first preview of Sonic 1, The Abomination.
With Gangster's Paradise as a song. Yeah.
I mean, that was an abomination. There was like something in the uncanny valley there where just people's monkey brain were going like, no, this is whatever this is, it ain't right. And they did fix that.
That's the funny thing about Sonic the Hedgehog as a character. Forever, he took a backseat to Mario. Everybody loved Mario Brothers. Like, he had his look, he had his style forever. And Sonic went through all these changes. He was a little baby hedgehog, and then they made him this sweet little teen rad, blah, 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 with soap shoes. Like, he was sponsored by soap shoes in one video game. And they were always trying to evolve Sonic, and he just needed to be what he originally was, a cartoon hedgehog. They didn't need to humanize him. They didn't need to create this like realistic approach to this guy. Even when they started adding people in the video games, it was weird. like other
Yeah.
people besides Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
And then, so you did catch on to the initial like internet reaction. The best. This is why I'm following this movie series so much, is because the internet won. Like
Yeah.
the internet literally, they saw the trailer and were like, "No, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We're not going to let it happen."
Mm-hmm.
And Paramount was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, we got to go and redo this.
And they delayed the movie and they released it right in the middle of a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And the internet was pleased.
Yes,
Reddit was happy.
they were.
And here's the thing, Sonic has some of the best memes out there. So they could have released this pile of shit, and it would have been like people would have been like, we're not gonna like this whatsoever, and excuse me, that was a nice little burp. But Sonic 2, what did I think about this? So I've seen this movie twice already.
Okay.
I saw it with my nephew and I saw it with you.
Okay.
Two totally different experiences.
Okay.
And I loved each one of them because here I am with my buddy and watching this and I'm going, yep, this is a kid's movie.
Mm-hmm.
But that was funny. The reference with The Rock.
Yeah.
And Vin Diesel.
Dude. So can we say can we
Yeah,
spoil
yeah.
this?
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Like spoiler alert, but there's a line where they go like like, oh, they've been enemies since the beginning of time, like Vin Diesel and The Rock. Fucking Ryan and I just lost it in a theater full of children.
Right? That's the humor that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 has with us.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Jim Carrey brings some of that too, though.
Oh my
right?
gosh,
like,
dude.
That dude, I'm glad he's kind of back on his feet a little bit, it seems like, with his like.
And he adapted the character.
Yeah.
He could have been this actor like he did with Kick-Ass 2. He was a character in there. He hated every moment of it. And then after the Sandy Hook shooting, he disassociated himself from the movie whatsoever. So
Right.
it made watching the movie very awkward.
It did.
With Jim Carrey. But this one, he was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm Dr. Robotnik, and it's me doing my character.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Robotnik is not like Jim Carrey. Like, his quest to take over the world, he's kind of dumb at it, but he's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey. He does his mannerisms. Opening scene, holy shiitake, like stupid shit like that. What's cool about this is I was able to go see this movie with you and laugh at the jokes all the way across and then still kind of sit back and be like, yeah, that's a kid movie. I could get past that.
Mm-hmm.
The one scene that I think went on way too long was the entire wedding scene.
Oh, yeah.
I think they could have cut that and give me more Knuckles.
Easily.
Yeah. And the cool thing about this movie series, Sonic already has 2. Mario just has 1 in the past, and they don't have another one yet.
No, they don't.
Until Chris Pratt comes out with one.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Okay.
The animation studio behind Despicable Me is doing a Mario movie. And they have an
That'll
all-star
be
cast,
cool.
actually.
It makes me think back to like trying to mix CGI and live action, right? It's like a long-standing problem, but
With a character who's a cartoon.
yes, the cartoon piece of it is the most difficult, and to get that CGI to look right and true to the cartoon character, but then also to make it not look, I don't know, cheap or
Roger Rabbit.
Well, and so that's exactly where I was going with this. Was if you think back to Roger Rabbit,
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that for where we were in film technology at the time, that movie was very well done.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there were things about how Roger Rabbit interacted with the real world that they had to have done practically when they were shooting the film, right? And I had this like huge appreciation for that in that movie. And I felt like there were pieces of that I saw here as well, where there was obviously tons of CGI because it's so easy and cheap to do now. It's just, it'd be dumb to do everything practically. But that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about WandaVision was in the first few episodes of WandaVision, right? Especially the ones where they were really like channeling like Bewitched, right? Bewitched or the Dick Van Dyke Show, some of those, right? And Bewitched, where she would always have these like magic spells and plates would spin and that kind of stuff, but they would all do that on clear wires and like really advanced practical effects at the time for this. It's just nice when you get a blend of the CG piece of it, but then there's pieces of it that feel authentic because they were done practically.
I agree with you. I think this movie had a good blend of that. I think, well, even in the story, like the creatures, the Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, they all had their own world. They all came into this world, so they explained why they're here. They weren't just these CGI video game characters here. They came to Earth for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they were able to... What I want to say here is, here's the thing. Sonic is really fast at what he does, and you saw it in the first 20-something minutes of the movie. And then when they go to the snowcap in, like, Russia,
Yeah.
it's like he lost all his speed abilities.
Right.
Why? To show that Tails could fly him around? Cool.
I mean, yeah. Now, a similar bone to pick is, and you know the Sonic universe and history much better than I do. Is Knuckles in the canon, right, in the video games, stupid or dumb?
Not until later.
Okay.
Because you're right. In the first Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, he was a badass.
Yeah.
In his character, he was tough, he was strong, he can always beat Sonic. However, he was slower. But it wasn't until later in the video game series, I think it was after like Sonic Adventure 2, and they started making all these spin-offs on PlayStation and Nintendo and shit, is where they made him very gullible and very dumb.
Yeah.
And in this movie, he was. And
he was. And to me, and maybe it was Idris Elba's voice.
The Arby's commercial.
That just, I mean, yeah, but or just think about all the other characters that he plays. He plays these like super badass, intelligent, I mean, Deadshot and, right, like some of these other characters.
The Black Superman and Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah. I mean, probably his career defining moment, but, but realistically, he doesn't typically play a stupid person, right? And Heimdall is like one of my favorite characters he does. But then, you just get into this like, okay, then, he's voicing this character that I just feel like they didn't need to make Knuckles dumb. They could have made him naive because he's from another planet or another universe or whatever, and there were things he didn't get about, like the Thor thing, right, where he like throws the mug on the ground or whatever. Like they could have funny things about how Knuckles is this oddball that didn't require him to be dumb. It annoys me sometimes when there's the like, oh, it's the big, strong, dumb person that just is like a trope that's just so played out of like everybody that can punch really hard doesn't need to be stupid.
Did you notice they made him progressively dumber in the movie?
I kind of got that impression too.
The first time you saw Knuckles, as the audience, you were intimidated by him.
Yeah.
He defeated Sonic. He came in and just whooped his ass.
Yeah.
And then progressively, as he was by Dr. Robotnik's side, Robotnik played on his being gullible. Sorry, I'm about to choke up.
Yeah, it just felt like he was so easily misled by
but he
Dr.
became
Robotnik.
dumber.
Yeah.
Like when he was reading the text messages while it was funny, they were like, is this guy really this stupid?
Right.
And
just, you think if he teleported through time or whatever to come and chase down
the Emerald.
It's just like, okay, you made it this far and get like fooled by this goofy Robotnik dude. I just, that could have felt a little more authentic to me, but again, it's a kid's movie, so I get it.
And then, when they were playing baseball, he was really, really dumb. Like he didn't know what ice cream was.
Yes.
That's why I was like, come on, you're placating this too much.
Yeah. Or, I mean, again, that's the kind of thing you could have done earlier in the movie where they stop and get ice cream and he's like, what's ice cream? And then he is really like from a different world, different planet, whatever.
Cut some of the wedding scene out and show them at ice cream. So he's like, what is it? Instead of him explaining what it is.
Yeah.
Show me that instead of him telling me how stupid he is.
Yeah. And I hate cringe comedy anyways.
I agree with you. Would you go see this movie again?
Sonic 2?
Yeah.
Not in theaters. I'd watch it when it comes out on video.
Me too. I've watched the first one a lot. I've showed a lot of people the movie.
Well, if I had a reason to go, right? If like, there's some kids that like I needed to go or whatever, that would be fine. But
And they're like, hey.
I would not go myself and see it again.
You mean you wouldn't be in a theater full of kids watching an animated movie like that?
I think they might think I was creepy. More so than normal when I'm there by myself watching a movie.
Can I tell you, when I went to go see it with my nephew,
Okay.
a couple of those people were there.
Okay.
And I had that first thought, like, what are you doing here? Like, I'm 36 years old. I love Sonic. However, I wouldn't go see it I would watch a movie by myself, but that's one movie I would just not by myself. Especially in a theater full of kids.
Yep.
So we don't need like the mature version of Sonic.
No.
Just keep on making them fun for kids. And of course, set up for a sequel.
Yeah, if you live up to the first two movies and Shrek, I'll be happy.
Absolutely, yeah.
I like it. All right. Wow, it's almost that time.
It is.
It is that time, Brenden. And you know what time that is? It's time for me to find this one.
Yes! Yes! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Ryan finally found that new Disney Plus channel.
Oh. I'll have what she's having.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
Dude, could
Pays
you
the
imagine?
extra.
Could you imagine? That would be like an idiocracy kind of thing. Like, there's Disney Plus and then there's Disney XXX. And it'd be funny if Disney XXX was like easier to get into than Disney Plus.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you could just log right in, but like Disney Plus, if you want to watch Punisher, you had to go through like 5 different age restrictions.
Right.
Excuse me, man. Door's heavy. And the mic. I'm gonna have to watch these.
You smell like beer.
Mostly from me, but I'm always mic one, so I don't know who uses that one. That's not me. Anyway, recommendations. Brenden, you have been watching MoonKnight. What else are you recommending?
Ooh, well, the other two series that I'm in the middle of right now that are still going, I am watching both Star Trek Picard and also because I paid for Paramount Plus to be able to watch Star Trek Picard, which still pisses me off. But I have no other way to watch it without pirating it, and it's a lot of effort. And anyways, enjoying Picard, but just seems like we're revisiting some existing Star Trek tropes, right? Like I think they're trying to close some gaps in the lore and build some new stories for some of these characters, and but it also feels repetitive in a way, right? It doesn't feel like we're covering a lot of new ground. So anyways, I don't want to. I want to withhold judgment till I get all the way through the season.
Isn't Jerry Ryan in this one?
She is. She was in season 1 too.
She looks good.
I think she's done. Honestly, I think that this gave Jerry Ryan season 1 and season 2 of Picard to really redeem the 7 of 9 character.
Yeah.
Right. That I think just was maligned in Voyager, where they really wanted, and this is my understanding of the story, right? It was just that they really wanted Captain Janeway to have more of a love interest type story, but the actress didn't want to be sexualized, right? In that way, she wanted to be a professional captain in the same way that Picard was, and I think she deserved every bit of that, right? But as a result, they wrote her out of a bunch of episodes and brought in 7 of 9 in a cat suit, and so like I get that,
Which worked first time.
I mean, yeah, there's a recipe for success here, guys.
Listen, nobody was going to watch Deep Space Nine like that without, you know?
You right. You right.
Wait, where is it?
I'm right.
There were some episodes of Voyager that were written that were just, I mean, really a crime against humanity. But yeah, so long story short, I'm withholding judgment on Picard season 2 until it's over. I think that they've done some cool things with some characters. I'm enjoying seeing more about Q and Guinan and what that really means. So excited about Picard. I recommend it. Some good special effects and some good storytelling there, but not blowing my mind yet. And then because I've been on Paramount Plus, also been watching Halo.
What is this Halo you speak of?
Hey, do I need to tell you about what Halo is? Like,
is it like a spin-off of video game? Something?
That's how I spent my freshman year of undergrad.
You know what's funny? I remember that. I remember going over to your house to work on your car, and you're like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" And you guys are playing Halo.
Yep.
But yeah. I just I turned off my game of Halo to go meet up with you.
Yeah.
So
that was an original Xbox.
Oh my gosh, with LAN.
Ooh boy,
like
some LAN parties.
Oh my.
Have to bring multiple Xboxes and
just
multiple TVs.
Super long yellow
network cables running down the dorm hallways.
Bro, you hooked up? Yeah, hooked up.
So, And so I really, after Halo 3, probably didn't play any of the video games after that.
Was me too.
Right? That was Halo 3 was probably where I ran out of runway there. And just, again, you
I never played 4, Reach.
You got to pick your battles on how, I don't have time. Nobody got time for that anymore. I'm 36 years old.
And
I get to pick a video game every now and then that I need to dig into.
And when it's the same, like, play style, it gets old.
Well, and just also so much of it got to be focused on the multiplayer,
right?
Where there's just only so much
that
I want to log in my evenings and get my ass kicked by a 7-year-old, right? Like give me the story. Let me play. Yeah, let me play through the single player story and miss me with the preteens. And so what I would say is.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's obviously this giant body of lore that's been built up about the Halo universe across all these games that have been made. And I can only imagine any number of different pitches that they've made over the years to go create a movie or create a show. I know there was a movie that was like half greenlit for like 7 fucking years.
Peter Jackson was involved. And the director of District 9 was involved.
Right.
Like, it would have been amazing.
So like there was all these different options that have come up over time, and we chose to greenlit this one. Like this is what made it. I'm sorry. It's just the armor's well done. There's some cool things with when they're fighting and the blade, the energy blades, and there's some cool shit going on here, guys. But don't go into it expecting the writing to blow your mind. It's another paint by numbers scenario. Yeah,
brother. I have watched the series. I continue to watch the episodes and go with it, but I feel like I'm watching cosplay. I feel like
it could be any generic sci-fi story. It could be anything.
Who's that company that makes like the cosplay like YouTube videos, like Bat of the Moon or something like that? I feel like they made this. It feels like a Showtime production.
Mm-hmm.
It is Showtime. And have you ever watched like other Showtime sci-fi stuff?
I'm sure I have. I don't know if I separated them in my brain.
What's the other one? It's not Rome, but it's Spartacus.
Oh, I didn't see that.
People love Spartacus. However, when I watch Spartacus, it seems super cheesy.
Okay, yeah, that's how I feel about this too.
Yeah, and it's Showtime. It's the production company behind it. They don't have HBO behind them.
Mm-hmm.
HBO can throw down an amazing series. Like Showtime is like the Kroger brand HBO, and it always has been. And that's what Halo is right now.
Yeah,
like I'm not involved in this story. I hate some of the characters. I hate the little Asian girl, and I hate the Indian lady.
The entire plot line around the rebel's daughter, missed me with the whole thing. You could have deleted that entire storyline out of the show so far, and I don't think I would have arguably missed anything.
And she's terrible on screen.
And she sucks.
Yeah.
Well, and again, I don't want to malign the actress if she's just being fed garbage, but like she's not engaged. Like I'm not emotionally invested in that piece of the storyline. And so then it's one of those things where every time she's on screen, it's like you fast forwarding through Frodo and Sam and fucking Mordor, and you're like, yeah, I get it. There's no water and it's hot, but like, let's go.
They should have spent more time developing the relationship between Master Chief and Cortana than him and this girl.
Yep.
Because I felt like that was crammed in one episode. It was like, here's Cortana, and he's like, no, who? I don't want that. And she's like, I'm here to help you.
And also the mom from Californication just doesn't sell me as like super brilliant scientist. And maybe that's just me being an asshole, but she doesn't sell as that for me, just like in your monkey brain of like, who is this person, right?
I hate it when you're drunk.
That didn't work.
That was the wrong one. But you get what I'm saying. She's supposed to be the super brilliant like creator of Cortana and creator of the Spartan program, and she kind of comes across as like, I'm the crazy scientist. I don't know. I just don't. Again, not inspiring. I'm not emotionally invested. Is what's happened.
Have you watched the movie Elysium?
Yes.
I feel like that's what this series is, just with B-rated actors.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad call. Because
Elysium was made in spite of Halo.
Okay.
If you notice, they're on a big Halo ring.
They are on a ring.
They're trying to get into a planet, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
The only thing missing are Spartans.
Yep.
And you have, oh my gosh.
Like augmented, like dudes with power armor.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
So,
where's the more you know?
Oh, yeah.
Give me that.
Yeah,
Give me that.
I got you. You want to, It's right there.
Over here?
Yeah.
Oh.
I gave him the power. I should have that one. I have the power. What is that, He-Man? I agree with you 100%. I want to love Halo, but I think they need to put a little bit more into the story and a little bit less into the cosplay look of it. So,
Okay.
my recommendation, I can make this one super quick. I want you to go back and revisit the Batman at home.
Mm-hmm.
You and I saw this at IMAX up close.
We did.
And I wasn't mad. And I wasn't mad because the sound of this movie is what brought me into this movie. So if you have a good sound system, turn off all the lights, listen to the rain, listen to Nirvana, listen to that fucking Batmobile fire up, dude.
Dirty.
Dude. Like I've watched it and I've watched certain scenes again. And I'll tell you, watching that Batmobile fire up and get ready to and that's what I love about Batman. You don't have the characters, you have Batman, you have the villains, and the other characters are his car, the city, like Catwoman. So you have all these other, like the Batmobile is a character. And I think
you were telling me this, right? Where you were Gotham is a character.
Gotham is
Batman.
a character. Yeah, and I think Gotham is, and I think Matt Reeves did an awesome job portraying Gotham as a character.
Yeah.
Because I felt like this was a city that would make sense somewhere in the United States. It's not just some cookie cutter place that Chris Nolan decided.
Small town USA or whatever. Big
Yeah.
city USA.
Exactly. And it makes me want to go and see what other cities DC has. They have Metropolis. They have, I think, like Central City or something like that. They have other cities where all these superheroes are at, but they're fake. But Gotham is the best character out of all of them.
Yep.
My opinion. So, oh, I got to put that on there. Never mind. We are about wrapping up this one up. So, any last words?
Man, no, I don't think so. We covered a lot of ground this time.
All right. Well, we have more episodes. I'm going to bug Brenden to join us more often. You're going to get way more MCU content, and we're going to talk about the Moon Knight a little bit more. And we could go on forever.
Dude,
And
there's so much coming.
Dude,
there's so much content coming this summer. We're gonna have never ending stuff to talk about.
I'm not going to lie. You blew my mind about Stranger Things. 100%.
Well, you just wait.
Pew. Pew pew.
Be sure and visit bmoviesbeyond.com.